Princess Lilith lived in a cage of moonlight. The castle walls built to protect felt like bars. She yearned for something more than embroidery and courtly dances. Her kingdom, Nocturne, was cloaked in perpetual twilight. An ancient curse, they said. Lilith believed it was a reflection of their stagnant lives. She loved her parents, the king and queen, but their rule felt suffocating. Nocturne was dying, and Lilith felt powerless to stop it. Then came the whispers, rumors of a stranger, a nobleman with eyes like rubies and a smile that promised everything. Lord Draven arrived in the dead of night. His skin was pale, his features sharp. He offered a solution to Nocturne's plight, an alliance with his people, the vampires. Lilith was both repelled and fascinated. She saw the fear in her parents' eyes, but also a flicker of desperate hope. Draven, sensing her interest, began to visit Lilith. He spoke of power, of immortality, of a world beyond the suffocating walls of Nocturne. The transformation was slow, agonizing. It began with a touch. Draven's hand on hers, a jolt of icy fire. He offered her a choice. Remain the dutiful daughter, or embrace the darkness within. The darkness called to her. It whispered of freedom, of power. One night, driven by a desperate longing for something more, she offered him her wrist. The bite was excruciating, a searing pain that spread through her veins like molten silver. But with the pain came a rush of power, a feeling of being truly alive. She was changing, becoming something more than human, something monstrous, something magnificent. The change in Lilith was impossible to ignore. Her eyes, once warm brown, now gleamed with an eerie crimson light. Her skin took on an ethereal pallor. The court feared her, but also, strangely, obeyed. The vampires, emboldened by their new queen, began to exert their influence. When Lilith's parents finally confronted her, it was already too late. The power surged through her, a dark symphony of rage and grief. There was a struggle, a blur of motion, and then silence. Lilith sat on the throne, her parents lying lifeless at her feet. Nocturne was hers. The kingdom was no longer dying. It was reborn, cloaked in eternal night, ruled by a queen who was both beautiful and terrible. And as Lilith surveyed her new domain, she couldn't help but wonder if the price of power had been too high.